But yeah, so this is part of the supernatural neighborhood. The next house on the block is going to be the spellcaster one. So like I said before, I've got all the shells lined up. It's right next to the werewolf house on that long driveway. I think they'll fit in lovely with their neighbors. And if you enjoy this content and you want to see me play with these, we'll be doing weekly, well, we stream at 2 days a week right now, but I'm looking to increase that. We'll see how it goes, but I'm kind of hoping to go for like daily streams. So to fill some of the spaces, there's a good chance that I'll end up playing in this neighborhood if you want to see how these Sims kind of interact. It'll also help my friends. They've been wanting to know what antics their characters are up to, beyond spending the first couple minutes in-game cursing us using the ghost table. But yeah, so you're welcome to come by. I don't have the exact details on the streams, but if you subscribe, you'll probably get a notification if you turn notifications on every time I go live. And it really helps out the channel. It helps support me a lot. But yeah, so we added a bathroom downstairs. I wasn't really sure where else to put it. And I gave them just like a basic bathroom setup. They got a sink, shower, toilet, talking toilet specifically. And I kind of struggled with picking out the wallpaper because I didn't want something that was too bright and vibrant, but I also didn't want something that was too plain. And there's not a whole lot of balance on that front for modern stuff. You either have like a plain wood wall or a statement wall. And while statement walls work well for like kids' rooms and game rooms and stuff like that, they really don't work well for this sort of house. Oh yeah, and I ended up getting rid of a ton of the scientist career stuff just because it was really expensive and taking up space. I didn't really have a whole lot of space for it. But yeah, so we're going to stick with 2 uploads a week, but try to increase our streaming output. I streamed Astroneer yesterday for 8 hours. If you've never seen Astroneer, you could check that out to get a pretty good look. It was just me and my husband playing around in a world we've had for a while. We're only missing 2 achievements, so that was the original goal, but we ended up playing with the snails and completing some of the newer update stuff. So if you want to see any of that stuff, please feel free to check it out. It was a pretty solid stream. Like I said, it was over 8 hours long, so there's plenty of stuff for you to like check out and do in there. Oh yeah, and I fixed the clipping on the constructor machine. Oh, and I went with this fence because it felt, I don't know, it matches the vibes of the house. And I gave him the alien mailbox. I don't know, I really enjoyed this build. I didn't end up putting things where I initially was going to. I wanted the door moved over, but this part that was sticking out felt more like an entrance. So I ended up going with that, and I believe I also changed the wall height at one point to make the first floor medium wall height. So now I'm working on the landscaping out front, and I ended up getting rid of a lot of the stuff that I place out here. I wanted it to feel like, basically the vibe I want for all of these houses is basically whatever world they originate from, just spat out on the lot, and that's where they live. It's like colonizers. They bring stuff from their place, like smallpox and rabbits. And then they take over the environment. So for this, I wanted them to have basically like all the alien plants and debug just in their front yard. And there's a little bit of like normal landscaping, but it's mostly in the backyard. And I gave them the good eco lifestyle planters, just because, like, I don't know, they look sciencey. They look like something some scientists would have that are trying to do science. And I did add a couple of cursed items as well. There are 2 cursed items hidden in this build. Yeah, I set up like a plant containment zone over here. It just felt right. It felt like here's all the plants that they're looking at that are like alien in some way, and they want to like still have the bits that they came with, but also like the mother plant is there and they're aware that it's dangerous. So I think with these guys it would be really cool to like have them occasionally stay in Strangerville to work on the Strangerville things. Because I don't think you full have to live there to do the Strangerville stuff. So we'll see if a vacation home ends up working. But yeah, I did end up scrolling back through because I thought you could use the eyedropper tool to copy them, and you can't. So I had to scroll back through to find everything. But I know this isn't really a modern sort of front garden. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of clashes with the house just because of how overgrown it is. But it feels like this area kind of got out of their control, which is cool. It's fun. I really wanted to include all the space rocks. I don't think we end up keeping the space rocks, but I do try, and I wanted to have the little satellite dish so that they can have the alien channel. They gotta watch their alien TV. But yeah, I did end up scrolling through debug quite a bit, trying to find plants that would add sort of a contrast, because it felt both too red and too blue. So I wanted something that would kind of like offset it, but not in like a weird kind of way. I did end up putting a ton of these orange ferns in. When we do the walkthrough, I will say they have turned brown because I set the season to spring. Why I set it to spring is beyond me. I almost put some island living stuff in as well, just because there's so many brightly colored things, but I want to save that for the mermaid build. I ended up actually using some of these snowy escape trees, just because they're so different from like what you typically see in a Sims build. Because most Sim builds, like the vast majority, are blue Suburbans. It's something from America in some sort of way, or European in some sort of way. There's not a whole lot of like other variety. So I don't really get a chance to use the Snowy Escape stuff unless I'm in Snowy Escape. But I also just build farmhouses like every single time I play because I want a farm really bad. So it's kind of my own fault. But I never really get a good opportunity to use the Japanese oak trees or pine trees. And they just kind of fit with like the different kinds of plants that we have. Like the Japanese oak tree really reminds me of that alien tree. The way it's like separated out. It's not like the rest of the oak trees in game. But I like the way that it turned out. It kind of looks funny in the walkthrough when we get there, because again, the trees are dead. But yeah, I also added some stones just because it adds a little variety to it. I've been adding more rocks to my landscaping lately, even though they cost money most of the time. They end up looking fun. I was also really determined to use those mushrooms and to have no clipping, which is easier said than done in The Sims. Like, I wish if a plant clipped, it would just be like, this doesn't belong here, and snip it. But yeah, it was hard to find some way to fill this area without it looking weird. I end up adding a bunch of windows. I used a lot of eco lifestyle windows. They're really fun. Oh yeah, the bizarre fruit. I found the bizarre fruit. And I wanted to plant it. I believe I have it planted, but I think it might be out of season. There's a bunch of stuff that was alien plants that was out of season. So we're not going to have it like fully grown, but it is there. So if you do download this lot and you have seasons, it'll grow eventually. If you don't have seasons, but you have get to work and everything else that I've put down, then congratulations, you have grown plants. Yeah, it was a little struggle figuring out exactly which windows would be good. Just because I don't typically build modern houses, and having like large windowscapes is odd to me. But I kind of figured the bump out looked like kind of right in this sort of build. And I wanted to have as many windows, like windowed areas as I could, just so that like there's a lot of light in the house and it feels open and airy. Because that's kind of how modern builds are, is they've got the big windows so that they feel like an open space. A lot of open concepts, not really closed like most family homes are. But yeah, I also gave them like a backdoor patio space where it's like kind of the bar. I used the Desert Oasis stuff. I guess not stuff, kit. Just because it fits the modern vibe and it's a full complete set that matches. It felt right. And then this upstairs area ends up being like a gaming office. I put that, it's like a VR gamer square. And I added the door to the backyard on this side. It was originally supposed to be, out of that one side. I don't know why I wanted everything to come out of that one small side, because it didn't work that way. But I wanted this place to feel alive still, even with it being like the alien stuff. So I did end up adding hydrangeas and some of those small bushes. Just because, like, if you have open ground and you're not, like, perfectly mowing it constantly, that's what ends up growing in places. But I also just didn't want the backyard to feel open and empty. Because for some reason, like, if you don't add plants, it just feels wrong. Like you've somehow messed up. Surprise appearance from my husband. You may have seen him for a split second. He also has a YouTube. He doesn't do Sims content though. But his thing is linked in my channel description, or at least it should be. I'll double check when I'm done with this video, but it should be linked in my channel description, as he is a big help with my channel. He provides lots of ideas and he helps me out immensely. I don't know, I just really love those blue hydrangeas. Hydrangeas in general, they're just very nice. I also ended up adding a ton of stones. I don't know, it fixes the environment. And I added this wisteria tree. I wanted it to be like sort of a hangout area where they could just sit in peace and enjoy life for a little bit. I end up moving some of the chairs over there and adding a little like radio thing. I think it's the radio that might also be a bookcase, but I'm not 100% on that. They just felt like they fit. And so it's this nice little like, they can sit under their tree and sip their coffee. That sort of thing. It just seemed to fit with the general vibes of that area, and I wanted a space dividing like the telescope from the like plant area without putting like a wall. And it's a good transitional place. Oh, and I made sure there were a couple other plants around. Plants just complete spaces. Yeah, they've got the 6 AM teleporter and they have the cloning machine. There's stuff that you get from the scientist career. I kind of figure like even though they aren't all the way leveled up in the scientist career, they're gonna get there one day. So like what if they already had it because they're aliens? It seemed to be like a good decision to make on it. I ended up adding a couple of rugs. It was hard to decide on rugs. Just because, like, I needed stuff that would fit the space without, like, detracting from the space. Oh yeah, and this is us finishing up, like, this upstairs area. There weren't a lot of spaces where stuff would slot, which I was really surprised about. But I just wanted, like, a ton of clutter everywhere. And it's easier when it slots to stuff. Like, I don't want to sit there and have to fidget with it to get it to look just right. But yeah, I really wanted to use that plant rug, which is just like a living plant rug, and I did not get a chance. Alright, so here we are in game. We're starting out at the front of the build. I wanted to show off the garden. I think it looks lovely. Especially because it like kind of creeps out onto the concrete a little bit. But yeah, so here's the front of the house. We've got the little antenna man and these lovely front windows. And we got the cute little alien mailbox. Right in here, we've got the kitchen and dining space at the front. I like the way the green and the blue kind of go together. Looks really nice. Got a little constructor friend, got a little safety mat, gotta protect your feet. And they have a sim ray and a future cube, and in here we have the robotics station. I want them to have a servo. We have elements display, momentum conserver. Yeah, just all your sciencey goods. We'll go out the back door in a little bit. So just head up here. Yeah, here's a little like reading area. They've got a little speaker. Cute little aliens. That did not survive the journey. And here we've got this little office area. Some more little alien dudes. There's a probe and some science stuff. The little arm. Oh, and here's the female alien sim. Adorable, beautiful, nice little gaming room. And then over here, we've got their bedroom. They got a lava lamp, the fun little backdrop. Oh, and I put this light in here. It, like, floats and stuff. I don't have it set up yet. Gave them some clothes. This felt right. And they've got some, like, documents on the floor. Because, like I said, they're still getting adjusted. There's a little clipping on the plants, but, like, who's really going to notice? Cute little cactus man. I wanted to use the knit cactus, but it wouldn't set on anything. Here's their cute little patio space. Their little relaxation area. Some fitness stuff. Here's the other sim. He was planting stuff. They got their teleporter. and the rocket ship. But yeah, everything's like dead because it's spring. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please like it. Leave a comment letting me know if you want to see more alien builds in the future. We'll probably stream playing with aliens at some point, because I'm gonna need stuff to fill my time with. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. It really means a lot to me that so many people have been liking this series and watching it. And I hope you guys keep coming back for the rest of the videos. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.